Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for joining us. I apologize for the weather that has kept us from being outdoors. We had great plans for being in Daly Plaza today. I'm pleased to be here today to launch this exciting new project. I'm grateful for the folks joining me today from some of our county's finest cultural institutions. All right, let me begin by acknowledging those who will be speaking and then those who have joined us as well. We are grateful to David Axelrod from the University of Chicago, Vince LaGrassa from the University of Chicago Tech Team, Alan Mather, Golden Apple Foundation, Sheila Black-Henneke from the Erickson Institute, Jennifer Bader from Brookfield Zoo, Angie Mason from the Chicago Botanic Garden. I am also grateful, of course, for the presence of our Commissioner, Brandon Johnson, who will be speaking as well. Thank you, Brandon. All right, I also would like to acknowledge those who have joined us and who are our partners but who will not be speaking today. Lisa Junkin Lopez from Shed Aquarium, Coran Ado, University of Chicago Institute of Politics, Maria Anderson, the Chicago Botanic Garden, Barbara Gaines, the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, Jessica Smith, Chicago, thank you for the prompt. Chicago Shakespeare Theater, thank you. Purvi Patel from the University of Chicago Institute of Politics, Terry Norris and Gunnar Podlasak. Did I do that right, Gunnar? Where is Gunnar? Over here? Is that close?
Yeah, very close.
All right. All right, from Microsoft, thank you both. Bridget Russell from the Field Museum, Dr. Whitney Lynn from Cook County Health, Rich Minacchio from the Housing Authority of Cook County, and Mark Motika, who is our sign language interpreter today. Thank you, Mark, for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. And special thanks to Nick Shields, my communications director, for envisioning this initiative. He developed the concept for Project Rainbow and has devoted, as he will tell you, many long days and nights to this project. I'm grateful for his good work.
That's not funny, guys.
I shouldn't have smiled when I said it, okay. Our children, and frankly all of us, have experienced a difficult and challenging year and a half during the pandemic. Students' routines and education were significantly disrupted, from playing with friends at recess to missing out on fundamental academic concepts. The pandemic has upended our educational institutions. I'm sorry, I'm being prompted to do what? Oh, okay. The pandemic has widened existing inequities, and our children are no exception. Initial research shows that on average, students lost 3 months of learning during the pandemic, but students of color fared worse, losing 3 to 5 months of learning. I taught high schoolers, but all educators understand that early education is crucial and formative, not only for the trajectory of a child's educational career, but for the arc of their entire life. That's why I'm so proud to announce Project Rainbow today, a unique early education initiative. Through this initiative, our partners have agreed to either produce new or repurpose existing educational content specifically for children and families that will air on the county's television station. Project Rainbow is supported by a great number of public and private partners, including the University of Chicago, Microsoft, our world-class museums, and many more. This initiative is not only an engaging educational tool, but an example of the innovative, transformative work that government can accomplish through leveraging partnerships. We certainly could not have launched Project Rainbow without the support of our partners. I'm glad that we can provide a resource to residents and families that also creates a sense of civic pride for so many organizations integral to our county. During a time when children's education has been disrupted, we hope Project Rainbow will be a valuable resource for young learners and their families. We've created a breadth of content that is engaging, educational, and fun, and will help to supplement children's early education and bridge the learning losses that occurred over the past year and a half. We intend for Project Rainbow to be a resource for families and children in a flexible way that suits their needs. Think of a toddler at home during the day with a caretaker who can tune in and work on their ABCs. Think of children of parents who work from home in need of high-quality programming for their iPad to keep them busy. And after school at the 4 o'clock hour, kids who are done with school for the day will have the opportunity to unwind with an educational alternative to TV time. While I may have taught history from books and my students took notes on lined paper, I recognize the importance of merging education and technology to suit today's world. Project Rainbow speaks to the county's efforts to bridge the digital divide and advance digital equity. With nearly a quarter of the households in Cook County lacking access to broadband, I'm going to say that again, a quarter of our families in Cook County do not have access to broadband. It's important for this content to be available across platforms. While today's initial launch centers on content and the app, this is just the beginning. Future programs will also be recognized as Project Rainbow initiatives as we continue to work with our partners and identify potential opportunities to expand our programming and outreach. We've been through a storm with the pandemic upending life as we knew it. But after a storm, always comes the rainbow. Now I'd like to turn the podium over to Nick Shields.
Thank you. Thank you. This is incredible, just simply overwhelming. This is wonderful to see. There are so many people to thank. I'll move quickly. As I confess, I'm the culprit for this lengthy run of show. First, I have to thank President Preckwinkle. Thank you for your daily leadership and your persistent Project Rainbow support every step of the way. This is a world-class county, and it's easy to take for granted when you wake up in a metropolitan area filled with organizations, nonprofits, public and private entities, and arts and cultural institutions who are all world-class and best-in-class in everything that they do. I thank each and every one of you for all of your efforts and your partnership in this initiative. I must thank our Cook County team, many of whom are standing here today. You see some of them with the Project Rainbow shirts on. It's an honor to work beside you, beside so many brilliant and talented minds whose work and passion is embedded all throughout this project. I must acknowledge the University of Chicago, its Civic Leadership Academy, the Institute of Politics, and the University of Chicago's tech team for your invaluable work, brilliance, and insight on this initiative. Thank you. I want to thank Microsoft for continuing to ask questions such as, how can we help? And what can we do? And then always coming through. Thank you. The Golden Apple and Erickson Institute teams, thank you for lending your brilliant teachers and expertise to this initiative. I also must thank my wife for putting up with all the late nights. And finally, before I begin, I must thank my young children, Silas, who's 4, and my twin girls, Kennedy and Mackenzie, who are 2, whose joy and wonder and inquisitive nature planted the initial seeds for Project Rainbow long before I even knew what was to come. At a recent press conference, I was reminded of a traditional greeting by a tribe in Africa. While you or I may greet each other by saying hi or hello, they do something a little bit different. When they greet each other, when they do greet each other, they greet each other with 5 simple words. 5 powerful, simple words. And how are the children? And how are the children? The expression essentially suggests that the true strength of a community is determined by the well-being of its children. And the reply back is typically the same. all the children are well. So in this moment, when historic inequities are being exacerbated by the pandemic, for the future of our children and our county, which go hand in hand, it's more important than ever for us to do all we can to be able to answer that question in each of our communities the exact same way. All the children are well. For that to be the case, we must look at long-term recovery efforts, no idea too small or none too big. And we must also look at ways to tackle the digital divide while providing free educational opportunities to as many communities as possible. We're here today to take another step in doing our part to help ensure that all the children are, in fact, well. Insert Project Rainbow. We call this Project Rainbow for 3 reasons. First, it's absolutely a nod to the wonderful and inspiring educational program of the 80s and 90s, the Reading Rainbow. Second, it goes without saying that COVID has been quite the crazy storm, as the president said. But without a shadow of a doubt, at the end of every crazy storm is a rainbow. And finally, rainbows make people smile. And it's my sincere hope that the content that's being produced and provided by our partners here today will do exactly that for our children and families alike. In the weeks and months ahead, we will disrupt how local government uses its current television station. Beyond the press conferences and board meetings that currently air on our channel, we will populate Cook County Television Channel, our Cook County Television Channel, and our new Cook County app, which will be released soon, with newly created and existing content provided by Cook County and each of our partners standing here today. Some content will also be shared on our social media platforms as well. Through this free initiative, we're looking to inform, inspire, and impact our children and families in the most positive way. As our content library grows, powered by a curriculum created by the Golden Apple teachers, young learners will be able to practice their ABCs and so much more. Others will discover our Cook County wild and wonderful forest preserves. Some will take their first steps toward financial literacy. Others will be mesmerized by the stars, inspired by an enchanting garden, walk with penguins, and become in awe of the ballet, or maybe even learn a little Shakespeare along the way. And since brevity is the soul of wit, I know you get my point. Cook County will do its part through Project Rainbow to help lift up the brilliance of our partners here today and the partners still to come, so every child and family, despite their neighborhood or zip code, has equitable educational access. So when we ask ourselves or others ask us, how are the children? We can confidently smile and say, all the children are well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nick. A better speech than I gave. All right. Next, David Axelrod from the University of Chicago Institute of Politics, one of our partners. Thank you, David.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle. Nick, I've been around politics a while. Never make a better speech than the boss. That's the, no. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your leadership. And let me say to you that this is, President Preckwinkle, this is a great and wonderful day despite the weather, and politicians can be blamed for a lot of things, but rain is not one of them, so you're off the hook. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been around these precincts for much of my life. I'm here today in my current incarnation as the founding director of the Institute of Politics at the University of Chicago, and I couldn't be prouder of our participation and the participation of our students in developing the app for Project Rainbow. The Institute of Politics was founded to inspire and encourage and cultivate in young people enthusiasm for public service writ large, and it can come in many forms and fashions, but it's directed to one thing: is how can we help? How can we pour ourselves, whether it's in government or politics or activism. How can we get in that public square and make a difference in the lives of people, in the lives of our community? And that's why I take such pride in this. This is such an extraordinary project, and Nick, great credit to you for conceiving of it. It is exactly the kind of thing that we want to be invested in. I'm so proud of the role that our tech team has played. The tech team was created to bring, by students at the University of Chicago in the Institute of Politics, to bring their technological know-how to problem solving for local government and communities in the organization. And for a year, they've been enlisted in trying to develop an app to go along with Project Rainbow. And I am here as a proud father of the IOP because of what our students have accomplished here. And it is my honor to introduce you to Vince LaGrassa from the tech team at the Institute of Politics, who has led that group for a year to bring us to this day. Vince, thank you and welcome. Oh, did I? You come in a package.
Well, thank you very much for that very kind introduction, and thank you to just everyone who's put in so much time and work to get us this far. Thank you to Cook County, to Microsoft, to the Golden Apple Foundation, to everybody. I could stand here and list off names for a while, but truly everyone that I've really had the pleasure and the honor of working with has been really dedicated to making this project work. And to the mission statement, right? To make all these wonderful resources that exist, make them accessible to kids and make them accessible to families. And I just, when I signed up for this project a year ago, I didn't think I'd still be here in a year, but I really, I couldn't be happier with how it's turned out. I am here representing tech team and the app development team, so, of course, I couldn't be standing here without all of the other wonderful U Chicago students who have put in so much time and so much effort to get us here. And I'm truly humbled to be a part of something so big and something so so meaningful. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David and Vince. We're grateful. Alan Mather, I hope I said that right, Golden Apple Foundation. Alan, okay.
Thanks, Madam President. Yes, I'm here as part of the Love Fest, the Nick Shields Love Fest. This plan that he brought where multiple partners come together to support young children and their parents in a time when education has been really difficult for all of them. We know that this is so important. We know that young children and online learning sometimes are a difficult mix, but what Nick and the President's Office created is an engaging and collaborative approach to getting young learners and their parents truly interested and engaged. So, Golden Apple is a 36-year-old organization that inspires, develops, and supports teacher and school leader excellence. We believe our mission is to be a critical solution to addressing the teacher shortage. And Nick reached out to Golden Apple teachers to design the curriculum for what's going to happen. And those people we engaged are our mentor teachers. These are the mentors who support new teachers in the classroom in their first 2 years of teaching. They go into the classrooms, help them with their pedagogy, but also learn from them while they are engaging young children. So, we know that online learning is never going to replace in-person schooling, but in these difficult times, for parents to have tools to engage their children and for children themselves to be engaged, this is vital. So we are happy to be able to provide these lessons that professional actors will be performing, which also made our mentors feel very much at ease that they would not have to be doing that in front of the camera. To to bring a clear scope and sequence to literacy and numeracy and work with the partners so people see the connections between what's happening in different content areas. This will elevate what happens in classrooms. It will supplement, not supplant them. And again, thank you, Nick. Thank you to all for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Sheila Black-Henneke from the Erickson Institute. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle. Thank you, Nick and team, for highlighting this important topic, putting resources into it, and including Erickson as a partner. Erickson Institute is a graduate school for early childhood, so I think I'll start with once upon a time. We'll tell a story here because it's been a journey, and I think this whole project shows how relationships, which are really at the heart of everything Erickson does, has resulted in something really innovative and wonderful. We were connected to Nick through an alumna of Erickson's Early Childhood Leadership Academy, Sarah Dixon Spivey, legal counsel for the Cook County Bureau of Technology. Sarah was a 2019 participant in our program, and it's wonderful to see the Academy's effect in action, where leaders in a wide range of fields use their new child development knowledge to influence resources and policies that support young children and their families. Who would have thought it? Somebody in an area over here connects to someone here. Erickson's role in Project Rainbow is to consult on content and to connect Nick and his team with early childhood teachers for the series. Dr. Alexis Lauricella, our expert in technology and young children, helped inform project planning with her deep knowledge of research and resources. Erickson introduced Nick to our Decolonizing Language tool, a handout from our training of the same name that Erickson developed to raise awareness of commonly used terms that center problems within people versus the systems impacting them. For example, at risk is a term often used to describe individuals. Used in this way, the term can cause individual people to be seen as a problem instead of systemic factors that impact them, like limited access to educational resources. And I really want to give a shout out to Nick on this. This just shows the level of detail and the openness and curiosity that he brought to this project, because it's not easy at the last minute on a deadline to say, what do you think of the language in this? How would you improve it? How would you change it? As a writer, I know how your heart drops at that moment. And Nick embraced it. And I think that that is truly the spirit of this project, which is to do things in new ways. Words can shape our actions, and I commend Nick for seeking to ensure that the language used in Project Rainbow is strengths-based versus deficit-based. We all want this innovative program to be a strong support for our youngest county residents and their families. Thank you again for including Erickson in Project Rainbow. We are proud to support Cook County and your work with families.
Thank you, thank you. So I'd like to apologize to Arnold. I didn't see him when he came in. He is our superintendent of our forest preserves, and I mistakenly believed he was on vacation still. So, Arnold, thank you for joining us. Please, a few words.
Good morning. So I was on vacation until about 4 o'clock this morning when I got back to O'Hare, after a lot of delays from the East Coast, but thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. I'm very excited about the role that the Forest Preserve gets to play in Project Rainbow. With nearly 70,000 acres of forest preserves here in Cook County, it's the largest system of its kind and one of the oldest in the nation. When you have a history that goes back more than 100 years, there isn't much that we haven't tried already. But Project Rainbow is new and very exciting territory for us. From the beginning, the Forest Preserve's mission has been to protect and preserve public open space and its natural wonders, and also to educate the public and give them opportunities for recreation. Last year, during the COVID lockdown, and I'm a parent of school-age kids, so this really hits home for me personally. We had a very difficult time with our kids being home constantly and then trying to work. But last year, during the COVID lockdown, the Forest Preserve stayed open. But we did hit pause on school field trips and many of our hundreds of events that we do in person to person throughout the year. So we had to hit pause on that because we just could not do it at the time. For the first time, though, our program department went virtual, and we did a number of Facebook Live presentations, and they were very successful and very well received. We've seen the power of video to connect even more people to the natural world that lives right here in Cook County, and now with Project Rainbow, we're taking it to a whole new level. Our show is called Wild and Wonderful. Each episode teaches about animals and plants that are native to our region, with episodes about fish, wildflowers, raptors, and more. And our goal is to get kids excited about what they can find in their local forest preserves, but also right in their own neighborhood. I want to thank President Preckwinkle and Nick Shields for bringing the forest preserves into this phenomenal project. It sounds really exciting. Everyone benefits from time in nature, and everyone is welcome in the forest preserves. With Wild and Wonderful, the forest preserves can reach out further than ever to every part of Cook County, expand our work towards equity and inclusion, and share the joys of the outdoors with the next generation of nature lovers. Thank you.
All right, next, two of our partners who actually live on forest preserve land, Brookfield Zoo and Chicago Botanic Garden. From Brookfield Zoo, Jennifer Bader.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle and Nick, for having Brookfield Zoo here today. We're honored to be a part of this incredibly important initiative with Cook County. This opportunity aligns with our mission of inspiring conservation leadership by connecting communities and people with wildlife and nature. On each episode of Bringing Brookfield Zoo to You, we share wildly surprising animal facts, show kids how to explore the wonders of the outdoors, and teach them a nature craft that will spark imagination and creativity. We are thrilled to be a part of Project Rainbow, where we are able to reach out beyond our 216 acres of Cook County Forest Preserve land and share inspiring stories of our amazing animals and the incredible care they receive by our staff. We look forward to connecting families and their preschool-aged children with wildlife and nature, and can't wait to tune in ourselves and learn more about the unique programs happening right here in our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Angie Mason.
Good morning. I am Maria Anderson, speaking on behalf of Chicago Botanic Garden. Kind of got the names a little crisscrossed there, but it's okay. That's fine. So thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Nick, for and your team for inviting Chicago Botanic Garden to be a part of Project Rainbow. It has been an unbelievable year for all of us. And just to be able to create this programming to help our little ones in Cook County has been such a wonderful outcome. I myself am a parent of two, 10-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son, so I know how challenging it has been, but also very rewarding, so I'm grateful. Not only do our children get to learn from our show about nature, which is our television program, Maria's Nature Notebooks, but they also see that nature exists right here and in and around their own homes. As part of the Chicago Botanic Gardens Windy City Harvest Farm on Ogden in North Lawndale, I've shown people how to eat healthier and feel healthier by making one small change at a time. Project Rainbow feeds little ones as well, and I'm so happy and again incredibly grateful just to be a part of this vision, offering Cook County families opportunities to engage in nature and uncover connections with the living world around them, and hopefully develop those deeper relationships with all living things that they see. So thank you again to your team, to our team, thank you to your team, and also thank you to Threaded Films, which is not here today, but this could not have been done. This production could not have been possible without them. So Red and the team, thank you so much, and look out for Maria's Nature Notebooks. I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, batting cleanup. Commissioner Brandon Johnson. I started to say a former teacher, but once a teacher, always a teacher. All right.
Thank you, Madam President. And just for the record, I think it's becoming increasingly more obvious that our systems need to be ran by teachers. And President Preckwinkle is something to behold. And no offense to any of the attorneys or business people that are out there. And thank you, Nick, of course, for your leadership and for your vision. You know, first of all, I did not know that Cook County had a television station. So with that being said, I also would like to solicit the support of Nick to help me start my own television show. and drawing on some inspiration, maybe I can call it the facts files. How about that? You know, I think our sister from the Erickson said it very well, that this year has pushed us into a level of reflection that we haven't had to do in a while. And as difficult as this year has been, if there were ever a group of people that embody resilience, it's our children. You know, in the classroom, I was always reminded of what was possible, the way children light up when they see a new concept or a new idea, the way teachers come together to figure out how to help a brand new teacher 13 years ago to be a better educator. And yes, Madam President, technology has certainly changed since you've been in the classroom. But what a world our children will get to inherit in this moment. Because quite frankly, I don't think it's, if I could just insert a little bit of my politics here, I don't think it's going to necessarily be the loss that our children remember in this moment. They're going to remember the opportunities that they were able to gain from the response that we led. And so I am deeply humbled and honored to be included in this process and looking forward to the opportunities that our children can get from this moment. And as Superintendent Randos indicated, I have a house full of children. I have a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and none of them like me, especially my 13-year-old. So if you got any advice, all of a sudden he just put on a headset and closed his door, and I just lost track of him. But what I am so appreciative is that how not just our home has come together, but how government has come together to meet a critical need. And it shouldn't be lost on the work that our brother Nick has not only put his best into, but what it means for government to collaborate with all of the different institutions that play a part in making sure that every single child receives an opportunity to gain in this moment. So with that, I'm very grateful and looking forward to having another T-shirt in my wardrobe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Before we take any questions, are there any partners that I failed to acknowledge who are here, who want to correct me? Add to the record?
Yeah, we have the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Thank you very much.
We have the Museum of Contemporary Art.
The Museum of Contemporary Art. Why don't you just come to the microphone?
I don't know who else. I mean, there's, who else did we not mention? Chicago Children's Museum?
No, Chicago Children's Theater.
Theater, I'm sorry, the Chicago Children's Theater. Who else? Joffrey Ballet. Who else? In total, we have 24 partners.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And my apologies to our partners that I failed to acknowledge. All right. Questions? All right, Nicole.
Thank you for being here and speaking with me. I have a quick question for you guys about plans for when the content will be made available. I'm just curious to know exactly when the community can expect that.
Sure. Hey, Nicole, nice to meet you in person. So some of the content will be available today. We have a number of hours that will be available on our YouTube channel. So that'll be available today. We're finalizing a Google app, for Google Play. That'll be ready fairly soon. We'll send out a notification once that's ready. And then we'll also have an app for Apple devices as well. And then I guess the one thing I would ask is for patience, because our partners are, and Cook County included, it'll take time for us to continue to make some of the content. Some of the content is already ready and we're repurposing it, but some of it's going to be brand new, and that's going to take some time. But over time, you'll start to see that app, our YouTube channel, our social media channels being populated, our television station all being populated with various content from all of our 24 partners to start, and hopefully more. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have any other reporters in the room? Going once? All right, Madam President, you can take questions on the phone.
All right. Do we have any reporters who are with us on the phone?
I
Alice, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Are there any reporters on the phone who have on-topic questions? Okay, Alice, what are your off-topic questions?
What's your response to Fritz Kagi announcing today he will run for re-election, and what do you think about his track record?
The question was, what do I think of the announcement today by Fritz Kagi that he's running for re-election? I am going to support his re-election. I've already shared that information with him. He will be part of the Cook County Democratic Party ticket, which includes a number of incumbents, including me. Yes. Yes?
Okay, any other thoughts about his tenure so far?
No, I think we'll leave it at that, given the press conference is devoted to another purpose. Okay?
Okay, and can I ask a budget question?
Sure. What's your budget question?
How would you characterize the budget Cook County Health presented on Monday, and what does it say about the state of health and hospital finances?
So the question is about the Cook County Health budget. My staff and I reviewed the budget before it was presented to the board, and I'm very grateful for the leadership of Israel Rocha, who is our CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and who assumed that position in December in the middle of, or at the very beginning of a budget year. So this is his first budget, and I'm pleased to be supportive. Anything else, Alice?
No, that's it. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. We're very grateful. Thank you all. Thank you. All right.